Alright, so when Megan asked me to be her maid of honor, I knew that there were a lot of things I was going to have to do, and one of those things included making this toast. Now, I got really excited about this toast, and I've been preparing it for a long time now, and I'm just super excited that I finally today get to share this toast with all of you. Now, as many of you know, Brendan was a sea cadet, and as a sea cadet, he learned a bunch of really interesting things. For instance, how to catch a seagull when stranded on a raft. He also learned how to tie some really intricate sailor's knots, and he learned when it's okay to consume asbestos, which is never. But his favorite part of being a sea cadet was the knot tying. He apparently would go home and just practice all the time. And I think the reason he was doing this is because he knew that one day, in front of about 200 people, he would have to tie the knot. All right, now Megan, on the other hand, while Brendan was a sea cadet, she spent a lot of time hitchhiking. Crazy, I know, right? Who knew? She just loved hitchhiking. One thing she did not love doing was hiking. So, since hitchhiking is technically illegal, and she hates hiking, it just makes sense that she got hitched. I'm done with the bad punishment. So, I'd like to preface the rest of my speech with a conversation that Brendan and I had recently. We were discussing about how long the speech should be, and Brendan challenged me to beat the world record for longest wedding speech. Now, I do love myself a challenge, and I can talk for a very long time. So, Megan, I forgot to mention, one of my wedding presents is I turned down his challenge, so you're welcome. Now, when I think fondly back upon the first time I met Brendan, I realized that I have absolutely no idea when that was. I had to ask Megan and Brendan about it recently because I figured it was like 2 or 3 months into them dating. I was like, oh, this is Brendan, that kid you were talking about, great friends. But I asked them about it, and Megan informs me that I was there the night they went on their first date. Now, she remembers every second of this encounter, and I have absolutely no recollection of it whatsoever. So clearly, Brendan made quite the first impression on me. Anyone who knows Megan and Brendan knows how compatible they are for each other. They make a great team. She talks, he listens. She sings, and he listens. She does really just about anything, and he'll listen. Yes, that. Now, oh, yes. So they're also a couple that's really fun to hang out with. So every time that I would come back home to visit from wherever I was living at the time, I would think about who I most wanted to see, and Megan and Brendan were always top of that list. And that's pretty cool, because growing up, Megan was not my favorite person in the world. But as we got older, we became much better friends when I realized that with her, we could have two-sided, meaningful conversations where we would share stories, confide in each other, offer each other questionable advice. And with Brendan, I knew that we would be friends when I realized that with him, we could have one-sided, meaningless conversations where there was no fear of being interrupted. Now, I really do like the conversations I have with Brendan. When he does choose to speak, it's just genius. Like, when he gave his vows tonight, who knew? Gold. When I would tell people that my younger sister was getting married to her high school sweetheart, they had kind of mixed reactions to it. There was the people that were like, yes, this is so exciting, I don't even know these people, but I love weddings. And then you had the people that were more cynical, that offered some kind of legitimate concerns, like, oh, they've only really dated each other, they're kind of young, they're terrible for each other. Just kidding. But no, I've never had any qualms about their marriage. I think that the two of them are great together, and I've kind of wanted them to get married for a while now, so when Brendan called me to tell me he was proposing, I was like more excited than I even thought I was going to be, which was cool. They've also been through, their fair share of rough times, which shows that they can really make it last. And I think I'd like to share some of these rough times with you now. First things first, they have a realist, 7 years, and they're still each other's dearest. And they're still in the couple's business, even though they did 4 years of long distance. Brendan hatched her out in 2008, drove a truck and picked her up One last point that I would like to make. Megan and Brendan, if you are Spartacus, then I am Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus!
I am Spartacus.
Do you guys see how many people would gladly give their lives for the both of you? And now, before I forget, Mom wanted me to tell you that she loves you both and wishes you years of happiness together. To Megan and Brendan.